Good evening, Melbourne. Welcome to the show. I'm Michael Kuzilny, and it's tough times never last, but tough people do. And thank you very much for coming up in the street and saying, hello, Michael, we've watched your show and you've made a bit of a difference, or one of your guests has made a bit of a difference. If you're having a tough time tonight or last week, or if you've had a tough year, remember that you don't go through the fire. Sooner or later, the sunshine will come back and hopefully you'll be happy again. On tonight's show, I've got a down-to-earth fella, a lovely man called David Croft. Crofty, he's born in NZ. He's done about 13 years behind bars in different prisons. He's tried every drug under the sun. He's got, I think, 8 beautiful children, but he's turned his life around. He's got some great lessons to share. Crofty, thank you very much, bro, for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me, Michael.
It's been a long time. I've asked you to come on the show a few times, and
yes,
and I didn't turn up. But look, thank you for coming on. Tell me how it all started, bro. And you're born in New Zealand?
Yes, I was. I was brought up on in a Maori background, a very, very rigid Maori background, marae, for 9 years. We were forbidden to speak English for 9 years, and you know, normally it's the other way around. In schools, you know, the Queen's English comes first.
Certainly.
But for 9 years, we done the traditional thing. I was placed there among others, chosen from different families, and we lived together and we worked hard as children. Most kids can't probably do what we done then, but anyway, we done what we done, and our sole probably job was we had to bury our dead, our families and members and so on. So we milked cows, ploughed fields, and took milk, cream and food.
It sounds like a beautiful, wholesome lifestyle, but when did the life of crime start, David?
Oh, well...
When did you take your first drug and or commit your first burglary?
Well, what I done is I left at about 9 years old, the farm, and went to the big city. And probably the first thing I'd done...
Where was the big city?
It was Whangarei, actually, in New Zealand. It was it was a big leap from the no lights, no power, no anything, right into the bright lights and elevator. First time I hopped an elevator.
And what happened there, bro? Tell me.
Well, Dad and Mum took us shopping, and bloody I'm playing in the elevator, and next thing you know, hello, lost everybody, and had to walk home. Me and my brother, elder brother. I only met him when I was 9 as well. And we're walking home, and we knocked on this lady's door, and she said, come in, and she had bloody rags everywhere. And anyway, we found this bloody pay packet. It was sitting there, you know, someone's pay packet. And
how much?
Oh, there was quite a few pounds, actually, back then. And we had no sense of the value. And where I come undone with that is, I took it to school and bloody shouted at everyone fish and chips after school. I'm going, as much bloody fish and chips as that'll fucking buy, you know.
So the police then came knocking, did they?
No, the chip shop owner was making fish and chips flat out.
Right.
And we're going, shit, how much can the koala bear? And, you know, and we're going, when's the money going to run out?
And then, Crofty, so you went from that to more serious crime. When did you try your first drugs? Tell us about that.
I was about 12 and a half years old. We used to... Yeah, we were influenced by older people, obviously. We had an older person in the crew, and he brought home these trips one night, and we took one. And when you take one, you leave on the shuttle for 18 hours. You cannot land for 18 hours. Right. You're totally gone.
Totally gone. And while you're doing all this nonsense, what was Mum and Dad thinking?
Well, they threw me out of the house. Dad's a builder, master builder, and he bought a new van, and it was too high for the shed, so he decked the shed out for me and the boys, and we had trail bikes and shit like that. And
so you lived in the shed for a while? Yeah,
we were off our faces for 3 months.
For 3 months, and then did you start a lot? I mean, 13 years behind bars. What sort of stuff did you do to? Tell us about that build-up, Crofty.
Well, we started off just doing petty shit, you know, like stealing here and there. I suppose the major kick-off point for me was I stole my mate's car, right, and fucking I had a good time on it, you know.
Nice car?
Yeah, but he wasn't impressed, you know, nor were the local police.
I can imagine.
And anyway, he got it back, but that's, I guess, where I started. I thought, shit, if I can do that, I can do anything. You know, bloody Superman now. And so, you know, pinch a car. I'm going, shit, how hard was that? Right? And it led to, you know, I don't know, I could count it in the, probably hundreds of cars that I've, you know, taken.
So you went from being a car thief, and it was so easy by the sounds of it.
Oh, it was, you know, just... yeah.
And then you graduated to even armed robberies.
Yeah, then there was a bit of burglary, you know. The burglary didn't suit me much, you know, hopping in other people's places and you know, dragging their shit off. And it was too hard anyway. Put it in the too hard basket. Quick, easy money, you know. Well, there's only certain places that hold that kind of easy money.
Yes.
And we targeted those places.
Service stations?
Banks and so on. We had a guy, he was very, very switched on. I can't, well, he's dead now. Archie Banks was his name. He's well known throughout the country. And he used to put us on to, look, that truck will be pulling up there, it'll have a payroll. It was cash money in the old days. And I suppose it still is now, but everyone got paid cash money. And you could take the payroll, you could go there and fucking rob that and do this. And
so it sounds like, Crofty, for a while there was a lavish lifestyle. You had plenty of money in your pockets, plenty of women, plenty of drugs.
Yep.
When did the shit hit the fan? When was your first long stint in prison?
Well, it came as a bit of a surprise, actually. I bloody went to court with this la-di-da bloody, you know, attitude, going, now, what now? Because, you know, and, geez, the old judge fucking looked over the bifocals and said, you're off for 2.5 years. And so I went inside for 2.5 years. It's 12 months you do, it's 0 to 2.
Yeah.
But you normally do 11, 12 months. But 2 weeks before I was supposed to go home, I bashed the bloody screw up and took the boob van, me and 2 others, and we done a runner.
You did a runner?
Well, that cost me another 32 months behind bars for bashing the screw, taking the boob van and running the police around for about 6 or 7 hours. It was.
Oh, you took off, did you? You took off in the van?
Yeah. Yeah. And,
was that well organised, or?
We were out on the farm, bloody pulling tits, milking cows.
Yeah.
And he, you know, we work hard. We do our bloody...
David, how old were you then?
I would have been about, pushing 15.
15?
Yeah, it was a Borstal, young...
when you bashed up the guard and took the van. 15, and he's 50 now, ladies and gentlemen. He's 50. Yeah. And he's turned his life around, everyone. He's not proud of being an armed robber, being a crook, but he's... No. We'll come to that shortly, but... and evil acts, armed robberies, guns, stealing money, and somebody could have died during these events.
There was a particular event where a guy, he said a few words to me he probably shouldn't have, and I used to have a bloody sawn-off, bloody double-barrel shotgun thing, and it was sawn about 1 inch over the shell. And I point-blanked him and pulled both triggers, put him out the wall of the pub, and well, he didn't do that again.
And what happened there, Croft? We'll talk about that nasty incident very shortly. We've got David Croft on the couch. Don't go away, we're back shortly.